Alright, hey you guys, it is TsubakiSwagg, and I am going to be starting a new, segment on my channel because for the longest, only things I ever really did was like review animes that came out, like review anime episodes that came out, review manga chapters that came out. Sometimes I would do predictions, which I know you guys like predictions more than you like reviews, and I'm going to start doing those more. There's a lot of mangas that I want to catch up to. There are a lot of animes that I want to catch up to and either do like my overall review of them or do predictions of episodes that have come out that I haven't read the manga for and all that kind of stuff, because I loved doing prediction videos for Naruto when the chapters were still coming out, but it's hard to do a prediction for an episode when you already know what's going to happen in the next episode, unless it's a filler. Then that's something different. But one thing I am going to start doing is because I love reading. I've loved reading since I was a little kid. Like, I want to say every school that I ever went to, my librarians knew me by name because I was in the library so much and I just loved reading. Reading was my escape from a lot of different things that were going on in my life, and I still love to read, and I've been reading so much lately, just I guess as an escape from all the crap that's been happening lately. So I went to my local Second and Charles because Second and Charles is an amazing place. And if you've never been to one, if you do have one near you, I suggest you go in there because they have the most amazing things. Like, they have books and mangas and animes and pop figures and video game posters, anything that you can think of. I can almost guarantee that they have it at Second and Charles. That is for like the nerdy, geeky gamers, music buffs, just anything that you can think of that has anything artistic or anything to do with anything, you could probably find in Second and Charles. And I have been living in that place for the past 2 months or so. And the first thing that I saw when I went in there was this, and it is the black edition of Death Note. And I had never read, I had never watched, like, I had never even thought, like, I can't say I've never thought about reading or watching Death Note because there was so much hype around it, and I know that it's ended now, but I was just like, it just seems like another old school anime or manga, and I probably really wouldn't be into it, but I might read it one day. And I just got a wild hair up my ass one day, and when I was in Second and Charles, I saw this, and I was like, oh my god, that manga is freaking beautiful. Like, it's just so velvety smooth, and literally like the whole thing is black. This manga is gorgeous, and you guys know I love black because I mean, even most of my graphic t-shirts are black with other stuff on it. I love black. Black is an amazing color. But I picked this up and I literally read this in probably three or 4 hours max, and I've been hooked on Death Note ever since. And I think I am going to start, I'm working on buying all of the black editions. I think there are only 6 out right now. I know there are a lot more manga chapters or volumes after that, but I'm going to try to figure out where the 6th one leaves off at, and after that, if they don't plan on making any more black editions, then I am going to get the regular mangas too, and I'm going to read through all of those. And what I was planning on doing was doing a overall review of each volume of the black edition, because I have the first 5. I'm working on getting the 6th one now. I have to wait for it to be restocked at Second and Charles. I'm gonna read one. Like, I read the first one already, and I plan on doing a overall review or overall impression of the first one probably within the next few days. And then I'm gonna work on reading through the rest of them, and I'm gonna just keep doing overall reviews through the rest of the manga through the manga series, and then I am also going to watch the anime and review it because I know that the ending in the anime is different than the ending in the manga, which I find intriguing because from what I've seen from the first volume of this story, it is crazy. Light is nuts, and I can say that with all honesty. He is like the epitome of a sociopath. But I will go into that in my overall impressions of the first volume. Well, the first volume of the Black Edition, which includes volumes 1 and 2. So, looking forward to doing that. But I am going to start doing some like overall impressions of stuff. I do plan on reviewing some mangas that I've gotten because I have been buying a lot of mangas and books. I want to expand my collection. Like y'all can see, I have like one shelf that's finally full of mangas because for the longest I barely had any. But I'm going to start reviewing mangas, but I'm also going to start reviewing books too because like I said, I do love to read. I love reading. Like recently, maybe not recently, maybe about like 2 months or so ago, I finished all of the Twilight books and I loved them. And I love all types of like sci-fi, fantasy type books that doesn't really happen in real life, but it's intriguing to read and it's so much fun to read. Like I said, I finished all the Twilight books. I read The Fifth Wave, which I plan on getting the other 2 books in that series and finishing those as well. And I'll probably do an overall review of each book because The Fifth Wave was freaking amazing. And I do plan on doing that soon, but I did lend that book to someone, so once I get it back, I will probably do an overall review of that book. But I also picked up some Monster Musume Monster Musume mangas, and these are actually not like the show. These are short stories that were written by several different people, and it like goes into all the different stories that happen to them. It's like, from what I've read, it sounds like it picks up after the manga, or it's like, well, after where the manga leaves off at, but they're still going through the same stuff, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And also, I thought it was really cool that in the 2 volumes that I got, they also did some like postcards, and they have a few different ones. Like there's one of Poppy. That's the second one. It's one of Mia, which you probably recognize this picture. There's one of Centauria, which you guys know is my favorite because Centauria is freaking awesome. She's still my favorite monster girl. There is Marrow, who is hilarious. She is a hilarious creature with her tragedies. Sue, which is probably my second favorite monster girl, which you guys have, if you haven't seen my speed drawing, I'll try to link it down below because I did do a speed drawing of Sue in her older form. And then also there's Rhaenyra, or Rhaenyra-san, whom she is kind of creepy, but she's still awesome though. I think Rhaenyra is probably my third favorite. Well, it's probably a close tie between her and Dullahan because both of them are freaking hilarious. But yeah, all of these came in the manga volumes, and there are a few like pages that have color, but these are really freaking cool. Another one that I read that I love that I plan on getting some more volumes of is Big Hero 6. I do plan on doing a overall review of this manga too because the manga is freaking amazing. If you guys don't know, I love the movie. Like, I freaking love the movie. I even have a Baymax cell phone case for my phone because I freaking love Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6 is amazing. The story is amazing. If you haven't seen the movie, please go watch it. If you haven't read the manga, please read it because the manga is just as good as the movie was. And then I did also get Bat manga because this manga is freaking hilarious. This is literally like old school Batman. I did see the second one in Second and Charles. I plan on getting the second one of this too. But this manga, if you have not read it, is really good. Like I said, it's literally like old school Batman back in the day with the pow and wham and bam sound effects. But it was really good. Like I said, I'm probably going to do an overall review of this one too. But like I said, even though I have been reading a lot of mangas, I've also been reading a lot of books too. Like, for the longest, I wasn't allowed to like read or watch Harry Potter. I wasn't allowed to read or watch anything that had to do with like witches and warlocks and ghosts, ghouls, goblins galore. But as I got older, because I am older, I am able to do more of what I've always wanted to do. So one of the things that I've always wanted to do, but I was never able to, was read Harry Potter. And I was in Goodwill with my mom, and I saw this, and I was like, mine. I'm going to get this. And I read it, and this book is fucking amazing. Like, I freaking love this book, and I plan on getting every single book in the series. And I plan on getting the new one that came out, which is The Cursed Child, and I plan on reading all these books. And I do want to do an overall review of these books as well, because this book was glorious. I was not prepared for the twist at the end of this book. This book, I was not prepared, and I'm going to do a review of this book. I'm going to do a review of the rest of the books in the series. And if you have not read Harry Potter, if you're like me and you learned allowed to do it for so long that once you were allowed, you just didn't think about it, go ahead and read it, because it was freaking awesome. And like, I am so excited to read the rest of the books in the series after reading this book, because this book was amazing. Oh my god. Another book, which is actually somewhat going back to the mangas, is this book. I saw this while I was in Second and Charles, and it's actually not necessarily a spin-off of Death Note, but it's about the BB murder cases that took place before the beginning of the actual Death Note series, when what's her name? I can't remember. It was Ray Pinbar from Death Note, his fiance, Naomi. It's pretty much about her meeting Elle and how they met and what they did to try to figure out who the BB murderer was. And I plan on reading this book, and I will do an overall review of this one as well. I have a lot of books on my list to read, but I need to start making more time for myself, because I don't do that anymore. So I plan on reading this book. This, like, from what I've heard from the manga, it sounds like it's going to be really freaking interesting. He is very, very smart. And can I just say, even without the white cover, this book looks freaking awesome. Like, I love black, like I said before. And I'm just so happy that I can add all this stuff to my collection, because for so long I wasn't able to, but now I have the opportunity to be able to expand more on what I love, which is books and reading and doing, like, making art and just glorious things. So next thing that I'm going to be doing overall reviews for is Maximum Ride, and I believe I talked about this a while back, because I read the Maximum Ride series, because this is actually, the book came before the graphic novels, and I read all the books when I was in high school, and all the books are amazing. Like, if you've never read any of the Maximum Ride books, I suggest that you read them, because they were awesome. And I want to say that Maximum Ride was one of the things that really got me into liking, like, sci-fi and mystical fantasy type things that really doesn't happen, but it's fun to read and it's so intriguing to read. And I have to say that James Patterson is probably one of my favorite authors ever. I love all of his Maximum Ride books. I've read some of his other books as well, and they are also really well written. But I was so excited when I saw that they were making a graphic novel version of all of the books, because those books are phenomenal. And from reading the graphic novels, literally everything that I ever pictured in my mind is what came out in these books. And that makes me feel so accomplished. I don't know why, because I'm the type of person, I'm a very visual person, and whenever I'm reading something, I love to actually, it's more like watching a movie for me than it is just seeing words on a page. I actually picture everything that's going on in my mind while I'm reading that book. And everything that I ever pictured is what showed up in these graphic novels. And that just made me so excited. I hope that one day they actually make like movies for these books, because these books are freaking amazing. But that is another series that I'm going to do overall reviews for, because I have the first 5, so I'll probably go back and do like a separate review for each volume. And another thing that I plan on doing like an overall review of is this, which is the 25th anniversary edition of Batman Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. And I actually got this as a Christmas gift from one of my friends. Hey Ella, if you're watching this video. But I'm really excited to read this. I still haven't read it yet because I've been reading some other stuff. But I plan on reading this too, because you guys know I freaking love Batman. I mean, who else would get a Batman tattoo if they didn't like Batman? I mean, there were probably a lot of posers out there, but that's not the point. So I do plan on reading this as well, and I will give my overall review of it. I really want to start doing gaming videos, like playing games on my channel and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be working on that too. I'm actually gonna make a separate video about that as well, talking to you guys about it and see if you guys would actually even be interested. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. I am going to be collecting a lot more animes. Not animes. I do actually want to collect a lot more animes too. Like I saw a box set for Death Note, but it was like $50. It hurt my heart a little bit. But that's not the point. So I do plan on collecting more mangas and animes, and I actually do want to start collecting comic books as well too. Like I have quite a few back there. I even picked up one recently for Bob's Burgers because I freaking love that show. The show is hilarious. If you have not watched that show, I suggest you go watch it because it's pretty freaking awesome. But yeah, so I plan on doing that as well. I am going to start doing more subscription boxes again, because I used to love doing comic blocks and loot crates, and now they have an anime crate, and there's a shirt box that has just graphic t-shirts in it, because you guys know how much I love my graphic t-shirts because I wear them all the time. I have literally a drawer full of them. I even have a video on all of my graphic t-shirts. I'll probably link that down below too, because I've expanded on my collection since then. But yeah, so I have a lot of things in mind, you guys. If you guys would like to see an updated video of all my graphic shirts, just let me know down below, or give this video a thumbs up. And tell me the animes or mangas that you guys love that have ended, that you think that I might not have seen, so I can look into them, because I'm always like, I'm constantly looking for new stuff to read and watch now, because I miss doing it. I miss doing this so much, and you guys just don't understand how much I love you guys and how much I appreciate being able to do this. So yeah, so as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.